that's when I found out that like polyester and nylon, which like I said is like almost 70% of all clothing production today, is polyester and nylon, is literally plastic made from oil. And I was like, well, I literally didn't know that. Like, I did not know that the same plastic that your plastic bottles are made of, the same plastic that everyone's like, oh, avoid it, it's really harmful. Your clothes are made of that exact same plastic. And it's not only made of that same plastic, it's made of that same plastic that's sprayed and chemically combined with bisphenols, like PFAS, forever chemicals, phthalates, which are all hormone disruptors, like endocrine disruptors. And that's because those give the plastic properties and make it softer. Because think about it, imagine wearing plastic around your skin. Like, you have to make it feel and look like fabric. Like, so so you got to chemically process it to turn it into like a usable fabric. But anyway, yeah. So I like that journey made me start thinking about like, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, okay, if nobody has any idea that our fabrics are literally poisoning us and poisoning the environment, what about everything else? So then I just start looking into everything else, and I was like, what the hell is going? Like, it feels like the biggest conspiracy theory of like in the world, that like literally everything being produced right now by these companies are like poisoning us. Like, which is why people are getting sick at higher rates. Like even obesity. Like, people, obviously it's the food, but these chemicals that I mentioned that they put into clothing, like the PFAS, polyfluoroalkyl substances, the phthalates, the bisphenols, those literally can cause disease inside of you. So those can like mess with your body's hormones, and so it can mess with the way you eat, and then it can literally start your path of obesity. Like, it can make you, it can give you. There's a whole assortment of diseases and like developmental issues in children that can come from those things. But yeah, but it's like, I was like, wait a minute, like, because the rates of disease and sickness today is like at just growing and growing, and the way that the health industry deals with it is just like, oh, here's some pills, here's some surgery, like, but nobody ever gets to the root cause of like what's causing it. And it's like, oh wait, maybe it's the clothes, like maybe it's obviously the food everybody knows, so we'll put that's why I'm like hyper focused on the fashion, because it's like the food is very obvious. um and obviously I do fashion, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to solely focus on the fashion aspect of this. So so yeah, it's like, I'm like, we're literally being poisoned, like, and people have no idea, because I tell people all the time, I talk to them about it. And the more I find out about it, I'm like, people have no idea. And when I tell them to, they can't fully process it, because it's like, imagine somebody telling you, hey, what you've been doing your whole life, what you've been wearing your whole life has been slowly poisoning you, and potentially in the next like 10 to 20 years, you might end up with some illness, like, and you're not going to know where that illness came from. Um, and everywhere you look, you're not going to be able to find the source, and the doctors are just going to tell you, oh, it's probably because of this, that, and the third. Oh, it could be genetic, whatever. Um, but hey, maybe it was your clothing. Like, maybe it was like all the synthetic, like, um, things you're using all around you. Maybe it's your detergent. Like, maybe it's your bed sheets. Like, also people's bed sheets and pillowcases and blankets are all polyester and nylon. So you're sleeping in, it's like plastic. Sorry to just keep going on, but it's like plastic is like the worst material. Your body hates plastic, and the environment hates plastic.
The reason why I started smiling, not in like a joyful way, is because
Yeah.
like you mentioned bed sheets and pillowcases. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, dang, like what?
Yeah.
Especially like underwear and socks. I had this older
Oh, yeah.
gentleman tell me once, I was like working at a Cracker Barrel, and he's like, yo, let me give you a tip. And I'm like, okay. And it was just like, make sure your underwear is all 100% cotton. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I didn't know. And I did some research. And so I've done that ever since. Like, I make sure all my socks, even though some of it has a little bit of elastic, I'll give them like 1% or something like that, because it's hard to find 100%. But yeah, same thing with pillowcases and sheets. I try to get like linen, a cotton linen or
Linen's
something.
the best. Yeah. No, but underwear is the bit that can cause, like, with women it can cause infertility. With men it can lower sperm count. Like literally, this is like so significantly documented, like, that it can do that. Yeah.
So what's the number one? Is it polyester? Is that the number one?
Polyester
thing?
and nylon.
So those are
Those
the
are
two
the
main ones. Stay away
number-
from those.
Go, yeah, and it's almost impossible to stay away from it because, like I said, go to the store. 70% of all clothing production is polyester and nylon.
I'm afraid
plastic.
to check my.
Yeah.
You're kind of screwed with suits. I feel like those are probably.
Yeah, a lot of suits are made of polyester
Yeah.
these days, and I haven't even gone to the microplastic aspect of it, which is a big conversation today. But yeah, it's I'm really hyper focused on like the yoga athletic clothing for women, because like I said, these materials are endocrine disruptors, so they're messing with hormones, like men and women, but especially women. Like messing with women's hormones is no joke. And women these days, like literally 99, I've said this 100 times, 99.5% of all women's yoga and athletic outfits are polyester and nylon, which is pure plastic made from oil. And so and most women are literally living in these plastic yoga athletic outfits. That's like all they're wearing, like all the time, and they have no idea. And it's so funny. I see so many people and women, they're like avoiding plastic. Oh, no more plastic bottles, no more plastic this. And they have no idea that they're literally wrapped in plastic all day long. And the thing too is when you're sweating, so people work out in their polyester and nylon outfits. So when you're sweating in these outfits, your pores open up, and those chemicals from the fabrics are like leaching straight into your skin. And not to mention the microplastics also. Like these clothes like shed microplastics all day long. When you wash it, you're putting microplastics into the water. When you wear it, you're putting microplastics into your skin. When you wear it, microplastics shed, so they're floating all in the air. Everyone's breathing it in. Like, and there's a big, I mean, people could look into it, but there's like the microplastic issue is so large right now. Like that's like a big topic of conversation, because it gets stored in your body and doesn't leave. Like,
And for the audience's sake and my own, what exactly is a microplastic?
Microplastic is just like literally a microscopic piece of fabric. Like, and it can get nano too. So it can get nano or micro. So it's just literally a infinitely small piece of plastic that sheds off the clothes. So still, it's like you call a particle of plastic. Like it's just so small. Like so you can't really see it, and it's just ending up everywhere. And like I said, biological beings and the environment hate plastics. So like microplastics right now. So forget what it's doing to your body. When you wash these polyester nylon clothes, the microplastics are literally going into the water, and then ending up into the oceans. Like it's a big thing that there's microplastics like on the floor of the ocean, ending up in animals, it's ending up in fish, and it's starting to kill and like severely derange like aquatic life. Like this is like a real thing.
It's in our blood, I think.
Yeah,
like,
it is in our blood.
like in our blood, we have a certain amount of microplastics at this point in time.
Yeah.
So drinking out of plastic bottles and all that.
You're also, you're putting.
You're part of the problem, Sam.
Yeah, but it's like, see,
Just
I say with like, because that's a big thing too. Obviously, you get microplastics from drinking from plastic bottles, but like my biggest thing is like, it's like with the clothes, you're wearing it all day long. Like,
And that's the one no one's talking about.
yeah, and that's the most hidden one, because if people literally switched, if people stopped wearing polyester, nylon, plastic, synthetic fabrics, there's a lot of people making billions and billions of dollars on polyester, nylon materials, because that's like all these yoga athletic companies. I won't even name the names, but all the big ones, every single big one. You go look at the material content. It's literally 100% all polyester or nylon. So it's like, imagine people stop wearing polyester nylon. Their business goes to zero the next day. They have no business anymore because that's their staple. And the reason, all right, you say, why do these companies use polyester and nylon? And it's because polyester nylon is plastic, and plastic costs nothing to produce. So imagine you had free fabric as a company. Imagine you start a company, and a lot of people, their sole purpose of starting a company is to make money. So it's like, imagine you're like one of the biggest cost like we only use the best materials. So it's like you use wool. Wool is really expensive. So your costs balloon. Like the chunk of the cost is just the fabric. Imagine that was eliminated. Like, and you're still charging the prices if your fabric was expensive. So now you have no fabric costs, and then like you're making it in foreign factories by literally like practically slaves, and now you have no manufacturing costs. Your only cost is really to just ship it on a giant cargo ship, polluting the ocean while you're doing that, bringing it to America, and since they stuff so much shit on a cargo ship, your cost of shipment is not that much either. So you're just like, I call it the unlimited money glitch, because you're just like, it's just like that's why they're doing it, because it costs nothing.